Force Basic Military Training conducts graduation events over the course of 2 days to celebrate the accomplishments of our newest airmen and guardians. These events recognize their transition into the profession of arms. We acknowledge the tradition of honor and legacy of valor provided by those who came before and inspire us still today. We would also like to thank the family and friends for their continued support that these graduates will be counting on as they serve our great nation in the years to come. This week, we have a special opportunity to recognize one additional and significant achievement demonstrating the dedication of 12 of our graduates who have completed the process to become citizens of the United States of America. Today's recognition is made possible by a partnership between the Department of Defense and Department of Homeland Security to allow active duty service members to become citizens under the Naturalization at Basic Training Initiative. To be eligible, a member of the armed forces must pass a comprehensive application process administered by the Department of Homeland Security, including a background check and personal interview to demonstrate high moral character and their knowledge of the English language. Applicants are also tested on U.S. history and government. When applicants take the oath of allegiance to the U.S. Constitution, they become American citizens. Please hold your applause until all names have been announced. The Air Force is proud to recognize Airman Antonio-Lackland, country of origin, Nigeria. Airman Kitnonian Natij, country of origin, Kenya. Airman Paul Christian Peña, country of origin, Philippines. Airman Soweto Zagnibe, country of origin, Benin. Airman Kenneth Cabrera Dubon, country of origin, Guatemala. Airman Evans Bordeaux, country of origin, Haiti. Airman Gobogo Akinyete, country of origin, Nigeria. Airman Kutip Gupta, country of origin, India. Airman Wendy Janeste, country of origin, Haiti. Airman Hao Zhang, country of origin, China. Airman Brittany Cindy Tujem, country of origin, Cameroon. Airman Iris Nunez Marrero, country of origin, Peru. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us congratulate the newest citizens of the United States of America. Our newest citizens were led by their military drill and ceremonies non-commissioned officer, Technical Sergeant Kyle Young. Good morning. I am Technical Sergeant Melissa Hill, military training instructor, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. As the flights move into position and for the safety and comfort of those around you, we ask that you refrain from entering the retreat pad and remain in your respective seating area when taking photos during the ceremony. Do not stand or sit in the stairwells unless entering or exiting the grandstand. Additionally, we ask that you do not stand at the bottom of the grandstands as well as the arena drill pad. At the conclusion of the ceremony, you may proceed onto the retreat pad after the flights are dismissed. Please be cautious when ascending and descending the bleachers. Utilize the handrails and watch for tripping, slipping, and falling hazards. Restroom facilities are located in the reception center and to the right of the flagpole. During this morning's ceremony, smoking and the consumption of alcoholic beverages is not permitted. At this time, please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices. Thank you and enjoy today's ceremony. In the military, ceremonies are held to accord distinctive honors to national symbols or individuals on special occasions. These ceremonies are used to display the proficiency and state of training in a command and to promote teamwork and pride in the organization. They also contribute to public morale by displaying symbolically the strength and unity of the military in support of the nation. All of the movements that you will observe today are known as drill. The purpose of drill is to enable a commander or non-commissioned officer, such as the military training instructor, the ability to move their units from one place to another in an orderly manner, to aid in training by instilling discipline and habits of precision and response to the leader's orders, and to provide for the development of all leaders in the practice of commanding formations. Now, marching into position, PT Excellence Flight, Flight 624, led by Technical Sergeant Juan Santos Pedraza Jr., Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Willimantic, Connecticut. Flight 625, led by Technical Sergeant Brian Weimer, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown Rochester, Minnesota. Flight 626, led by Master Sergeant Atif Siddiqui, Military Training Instructor, hometown Dallas, Texas. Flight 627, led by Technical Sergeant Jonathan Spear, Military Training Instructor, hometown Wymore, Nebraska. Flight 628, led by Technical Sergeant Clay Wilson, Military Training Instructor, hometown Coshelton, Ohio. Flight 629, led by Technical Sergeant Christopher Hernandez, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Chicago, Illinois. Flight 630, led by Technical Sergeant Nader Fernandez, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Lajas, Puerto Rico. Flight 631, led by Technical Sergeant Richard Simmons, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Evanston, Virginia. Flight 632, led by Staff Sergeant Philip Ayers, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Georgetown, Texas. Flight 633, led by Technical Sergeant Jonathan Keeney, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Rapid City, South Dakota. Flight 634, led by Technical Sergeant Dwayne Thunderbird, Military Training Instructor, hometown, El Paso, Texas. Flight 635, led by Staff Sergeant Clarissa Wilkes, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Denver, Colorado. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 636, led by Technical Sergeant Lonnie Elliott, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Nantiglow, Pennsylvania. Flight 637, led by Technical Sergeant Philip Edwards, Military Training Instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Flight 638, led by Technical Sergeant Desiree Gonzalez, Military Training Instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Musical support for this morning's ceremony is provided by Airmen from the 321st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of retired Master Sergeant Samuel Johnson, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown, Stratford, Connecticut. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort and commitment demonstrate teamwork and the Air Force's core value, service before self. With each Drum and Bugle Corps, performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Picard.
Let us pray. Eternal God, mighty in works and all-powerful, the one who brings light and clear skies to your people, descend and be with us today as we celebrate what has been accomplished through hard work and determination of the 324th Night Squadron, all brave airmen, as they are ready to serve in our great Air Force. As iron sharpens iron, so airman sharpens airmen. Bestow upon their MTIs, leadership, and staff your wisdom to continue to transform, inspire, and lead generation of airmen to come. We ask of you, God, make them strong and brave, forever be with them. They put their trust in you, and we pray for them to receive the strength to protect and defend our country. Godspeed and the blessing of God be with you forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please be seated. Good morning, and welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training and 1989 graduate of Basic Military Training, Colonel Billy Wilson, Jr. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training and 2003 graduate of Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Dan Anderson. From the graduating squadron, the Commander, 324th Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Chad Dieterle, accompanied by his wife, Stephanie. The Senior Enlisted Leader, 324th Training Squadron, and 2001 graduate of Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant A.J. Frank. Also in attendance with us today, the Commander, 121st Air Refueling Wing and 1988 graduate of Basic Military Training, Colonel Scott Lurden. The Command Chief, 121st Air Refueling Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Michael Dumas. The Deputy Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel John Odell III. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Master Sergeant Frank will now come forward and address our graduating class.
Will I get in trouble if I move this further in the sun? I know I'm not built for this cold weather. I moved to Texas to be hot. So good morning, Knights. Good morning, families and family and friends. Thank you for sending us these amazing men and women. Don't they look good? Also, let's give a hand to our military training instructors and support staff who put their heart and soul into growing these great airmen. Tomorrow morning, these soon-to-be airmen will march down the bomb run or the enlisted Heroes Walk. The Heroes Walk honors airmen like Master Sergeant John Chapman, a combat controller who relentlessly engaged and killed enemy fighters in Afghanistan despite being mortally wounded. His actions allowed his team to move to cover. He saved the lives of his wingmen. Airmen like Airman First Class John Levito, a loadmaster serving in Vietnam. His aircraft was hit with a mortar shell, injuring him and his teammates, causing one of them to drop a magnesium flare. Despite being stunned and wounded by shrapnel, he flung himself onto the flare, drug it to the cargo door, and threw it out. He saved the lives of his wingmen. These were ordinary airmen Ordinary airmen just like you who answered the call to serve their country. Later, they deployed in harm's way to support its interests. When crisis struck, they were ready and willing to put their lives on the line to protect their brothers and sisters in arms. These airmen did extraordinary things, and there are countless examples like these by people who stood exactly where you are now. Committing to defend the American way of life is hard work. There's a cost to calling yourself an airman in the world's greatest air force. You will sacrifice many things that your civilian family and friends will not. Basic training is work to transform you from civilian into an airman. And you'll continue to receive training to do the jobs we will ask you to do. But your preparation is not over. How ready you are, how mentally tough you are, and how resilient you are, that's up to you. Every one of you during your Air Force journey will be faced with difficulty, challenges, and adversity. It's what happens after that counts. I can tell you that getting up after being knocked down is much harder if you haven't done anything to prepare for it. Nassim Taleb, in his book Anti-Fragile, Things That Gain from Disorder, says, "Wind extinguishes a candle and energizes fire. Likewise with randomness, uncertainty, and chaos. You want to use them, not hide from them. You want to be the fire and wish for the wind." So you'll have a choice to make. You can be a candle, easily blown out when hit with setbacks, or you can be a raging fire, energized by them. There are a few things that I want to recommend you start doing now to help with this, and to be successful airmen and eventually NCOs and senior NCOs. First, grow your emotional intelligence. I believe it's the single most important thing you can do to be a better person, a better airman, and a better leader. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better. Stay away from people who are always making themselves out to be a victim in some way. They will rob you of your optimism, your pride, and your enthusiasm. 3, hold the line when it comes to standards. Good leaders are not okay with mediocrity. Unfortunately, if you haven't already, you'll see very soon that many in our Air Force are okay with just doing the bare minimum, and they expect rewards for it. Have tough conversations with those airmen. Hold them accountable. American society judges us by how we look, act, carry ourselves, and how we perform. We need to inspire confidence into them. Make no mistake, China, Russia, and other strategic competitors are also watching. Being a good airman and leader means excellence is the only standard you're okay with. 4, focus on the things you can control. Try not to expend too much energy on the things you can't. And finally, come to realize that the thing you may want in a specific moment might possibly be the opposite of what you need. Listen, I could tell you after 23 years in the Air Force, this isn't easy. You will face challenges. It's not a matter of if, but when. And when you do what the great philosopher of our time, Joe Rogan, would suggest. Be the hero of your own movie. Ask yourself, what would the hero of your life's movie do right now? Then do that. I couldn't be more honored to stand in front of you as your first chief. I'm incredibly proud of how far you've come. Keep preparing, keep growing, build your mental toughness and resiliency, and there's no doubt we will hear about the extraordinary things you do very soon. Thank you for your service and the sacrifices you most certainly will make. My family and I are so thankful for you. It's because of you, the 1% of society that volunteered to serve, that my children are still free to chase the American dream. It's because of you that on January 5th, I can hang up this uniform for the last time after 23 years and chase a new dream. Thank you. As a matter of fact, in a few minutes, I'll have my first civilian job interview in 24 years. So as your senior enlisted leader, I hereby acknowledge your completion of all graduation requirements and have recommended to Colonel Wilson and Chief Master Sergeant Anderson that you receive your coveted Airman's coin, which signifies your transition today from trainees to airmen. Congratulations. Military training instructors, you may proceed.
At this part of the ceremony, the military training instructors will distribute the venerable Airman's coin, and for the first time, distinct Space Force coins to our Space Force graduates. The lore of military coins has many colorful suspected origins. However, a popular story stems from World War I, where American volunteers formed flying squadrons in France during the Great War. One of the volunteers was a wealthy lieutenant who took great pride in his service and had medallions cast in bronze, with his squadron's emblem on them. He gave those medallions to every member of his unit. Not long after, one of the pilots was shot down behind enemy lines and was captured by a German patrol. The German forces confiscated the pilot's possessions except for the pilot's medallion that he wore around his neck. While in confinement in a small French village, the captured pilot took advantage of a nighttime bombardment by the Allies. He donned civilian clothes and escaped after crossing the front lines to safety. He came across a French outpost where he was initially thought to be a saboteur, until he showed them his unit coin. The French forces recognized the unit emblem, and instead of any harsher treatment, he received a bottle of wine. Today, several military units have developed their own coins and specific rules for them. Many organizations give out their unit coins to recognize outstanding performances and achievements. The coins the airmen and space professionals receive today are unique in that they originate here at the gateway to the Air Force and are only given to those who complete this rigorous course of instruction. On one side of the Airman's coin, the original emblem of the Air Force resides as envisioned by General Henry Hap Arnold, one of the first military aviators and later commander of the Army Air Forces in World War II. Beneath the emblem, the year 1947, the birth date of the United States Air Force, and around the rim of the coin, the core values of the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the newly recognized emblem of the Air Force, a symbol that honors the heritage of our past and represents the promise of our future. The emblem retains the core elements of the Henry Hap Arnold emblem, the Arnold wings, and the star within a circle. The modern effect of the emblem reflects our Air and Space Force today and into the future. Inscribed in a half circle above the contemporary Air Force emblem is the Air Force motto, "Aim high, fly, fight, win." And on the border of the coin, a reminder to all who see this is inscribed, "Awarded on the occasion of becoming an airman in the world's greatest Air Force."
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Dieterle will now come forward and address our graduating class.
All right, I love the rowdiness of this crowd this morning. That's awesome. There you go. All right. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. More specifically, to all the moms, dads, brothers, sisters, grandparents, spouses, significant others, everyone in attendance on this chilly, but in my opinion, perfect Texas fall day in support of our graduates. It's awesome to see such a large crowd. I know many are inside today because of the weather. Today, I have the great privilege to introduce you to 631 of the Air Force's newest airmen, all Knights of the 324th Training Squadron. For those in attendance today, today is likely bittersweet. While I'm sure you are proud of your loved ones' accomplishments, there are likely many of you with some degree of hesitation or even nervousness as your airman starts the next chapter of their military service. As a father of 2 young girls, I know I would feel all the emotions I just mentioned. But it's important for you to feel rest assured. The Air Force family your loved ones are now part of cares deeply. This family, comprised of over 350,000 professionals, will always go to great lengths to care, develop, and provide your sons and daughters a sense of belonging. This sense of family extends to all of you as well, so welcome. You're welcome. All right, Knights, you made it. Over 7 weeks of intense training spanning 2 months. Just like your family members, I'm sure you experienced a range of emotions during drop-off. Through our conversations, I know some of you came from military families. You prepped for months or even years and arrived excited, ready to start training. For others, you were the first in your family's history to embark on a military career. You arrived nervous, some terrified, anticipating what military training would be like. But regardless, you succeeded, and in most cases, exceeded expectations. While you should be proud of your individual accomplishments, you should be even more proud of what you accomplished as a team. Please remember that teamwork is everything when it comes to the defense of our great nation. You and your fellow wingman would not be gathered in front of me if you didn't demonstrate and embody the importance of teamwork. Going forward, the nation you now serve has high expectations of you. Never forget the Air Force core value of excellence, excellence in everything you do. The squadron leadership team is proud of you. Your MTIs are proud of you. Your loved ones are proud of you. This day is yours. You deserve it. Well done. I was going to thank the military training instructors for the 324th, but nobody did the wave with me. So maybe I'll have to skip this portion. All right, to the 324th, our amazing MTIs. I have 2 words for you all. Stay awesome. Over this past training cycle, you were the Airmen's first exposure to Air Force active duty life and their first demonstration of the Air Force core values. You dedicated tremendous amounts of time to inspire, motivate, and mold these professionals, all while making sacrifices in your personal lives. You also remain laser focused on keeping everyone safe, which I'm sure the families, especially the moms in the audience, appreciate very much. Please know that you're highly valued not only by your Air Force team, but also by the family and friends in attendance today. It's humbling to execute the BMT mission alongside you all. I'd also like to take a few seconds to thank a few of our often unsung heroes that are with us today. While their work is important and respected, the efforts by our chaplain corps and athletic trainers is often underthanked. On behalf of all of our squadron personnel, thank you for attending to the physical, spiritual, and mental resiliency of these airmen. While it's not easy to quantify the results of your efforts, you clearly helped countless airmen over the years get successfully across the finish line, better equipped to serve their country. Specifically to the 324th Training Squadron, thank you to Chaplain Pacuar, Staff Sergeant Porter, Miss Katie, and Miss Sarah. Please know that you are appreciated. All right, Airmen, I'll leave you with this. Going forward, embrace and capitalize on the skills and strengths you learned here at training. Harness and be proud of the uniqueness each of you brings to the fight. Being the world's superpower has never been more difficult. It takes hard work and sacrifice, but it's achievable because of you. It was a pleasure being your wingman. Godspeed and congratulations.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Dieterle. At this time, we would like to take the opportunity to recognize basic military training's most outstanding performer, someone who demonstrated their ability to successfully navigate all assessments, testing their physical abilities, academic aptitude, and adaptability to the military environment through multiple progress checks. This airman has surpassed all others in the challenges of training and has earned the distinction of being the top graduate of this class. The top graduate is from Flight 628, Airman Devin Schamberger. He is from Helena, Alabama, and joined the Air Force to become an aircraft integrated avionics technician. In the stands cheering is his mother, Monquel, father, Eric, grandmother, Andrea, and three brothers, Darren, Dylan, and Dion. His recruiter is Technical Sergeant Christopher Jackson from Hoover, Alabama. Please stand as a sign of unity as our top graduate leads us through the Airman's Retreat. Instructors, place your flights at attention.
I am an American Airman!
Thank you. Please be seated. Instructors, place your flights at ease. This morning, we honor our heritage of military customs and traditions as we welcome our newest airmen into the ranks of the Department of the Air Force. There are two purposes for this morning's retreat ceremony. The retreat ceremony is a solemn event conducted at every United States military installation around the globe. It signifies the end of the official duty day, and today is symbolic of the end of training for our graduates. But more importantly, it is to pay respect to our nation's flag. When we offer our respect for our flag and to our national anthem, we have an opportunity to reflect on the democratic principles that have made our nation great. The meaning of freedom, dignity of the individual, the pursuit of happiness, and national unity all come to mind when you think of our flag. It is the symbol of our nation to the world. Military members have a special bond with the flag. These airmen are part of the flag's tradition because they symbolize the spirit and sacrifices of the military and dedication to the defense of this great nation and the principles it represents. When we salute the flag as it is lowered, we ask you to think. Think about the flag flying over Arlington and other national cemeteries. Think about the flag being carried into combat by the service members who preceded us. Think about the flag Americans enjoy today, freedom without precedent in the history of the world. The men and women who stand before you today represent the projection of the strength behind our flag. Our flag security detail consists of members from the graduating squadron, led by Master Sergeant Andre Harp Thomas. Our commander of airmen is Master Sergeant Dexter Orbit. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the sounding of retreat and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
Down, retreat! 1, 2, 3, hey! Squadron! Declare! Hot! Present! Present! Halt! Room and...
The flag stands for peace, honor, truth, justice, and freedom. In the armed forces of the United States, during the ceremony of retreat, the flag is lowered, folded in a triangle fold, and kept under watch throughout the night as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The next morning, it is brought out at the ceremony of reveille. The flag has been torn to strips and used as bandages for wounded combatants on the battlefield. It has been placed in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their fallen son or daughter. It is flown at half-staff to honor our military members. The flag has flown in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. It has flown at Valley Forge, Shiloh, and Gettysburg. It was there at San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, in the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, on the beaches of Normandy. It was waved at Okinawa, Korea, Vietnam, Somalia, Kuwait, Iraq, and in Afghanistan. The flag has been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries that America has helped set free. Yet it remains invincible.
Come! Sir, the flag is secure. Retire the colors. Left wheel, high! Forward, high! Left wheel, high! Forward, high!
Please remain standing for the playing and singing of the United States Air Force song.
1, 2, roll, play!
Congratulations on achieving this historic milestone that marks the beginning of your career. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seating area. The graduates will be dismissed momentarily. Families with graduates in the Drum and Bugle Corps are asked to wait for their graduates on the north side of the west bleachers while they secure their equipment. We ask that you refrain from running onto the retreat pad and please use caution when descending the bleachers. Town Pass ends at 2000 hours. When dropping off graduates, please stay in your vehicle. Family members are not authorized to enter any training area. Thank you, and please enjoy your stay at 37th Training Wing, Joint Base, San Antonio-Lackland, Texas.
Flight commander, dismiss your flight!